Hey guys, it's your girl Dominique Danielle here, and I am back with another video, but this time it's going to be more like a story time, and the topic is how I became a dancer. Yes, your girl used to dance. I know I look innocent and whatnot, but I had some hard times. So, I'll never forget, it was back in 2012, 2013, around that time. I was working at a nursing home. Now, I was a unit secretary. I was working Monday through Friday. And I was making decent money, but I wasn't making enough money. I had bills like car payment, car insurance, rent, cell phone bill, health insurance. How do you expect to take all of that money out of a check that's not even really a check? But they did it. They didn't care. Oh, and did I mention I even had student loans coming out of this check also? Whew. So around that time, I was working at a nursing home, and I wasn't making nothing. And I was feeling like, what am I doing here? Why am I working so hard? And at the time, I don't have no kids. It was only me. Could you imagine having a child and not getting by? I mean, you can't imagine it because there are people that's out here just making it with what they have, and I applaud them. So don't think that I'm taking anything from you guys, because I'm not. But me, I know me. I know I like to buy things. I know I like to tear them all down. So with that being said, that job that I had and all the bills that was coming out of this check was not it. So around that time, me working at the nursing home, me doing overtime, I'm not even having a social life because I'm always at work trying to just get by. All my friends were starting to venture off into the dancing world. And, you know, they wanted me to be a part, but I wasn't there yet. Like, I was down and out, trust me. But I wasn't down for the dancing world. That was just not me. One, I was scared. Two, my parents, I don't think I was ready to tell them yet. That was going to be a whole nother conversation in itself. So, and mind you, I was grown. Like, I was probably around 20 something. I was in my 20s, just put it like that. But I just wasn't ready to do that. I always wanted to be a daredevil, but I always had the two angels on my shoulders saying, no. And I always had one that said, if you don't do what you got to do for you. I was always listening to the good angel because I always care what other people have to say about me. Like, people comments or insight or what they thought about my life always affected me in my own life. And I just wasn't ready for that yet. So my friends were trying to tell me, you know, I should be a part of them, do dancing to help people think. And that was true. I should have been thinking like that, but I wasn't because I was too scared. So I never got into dancing right away. While they making money, I'm still struggling. So it was almost time for income tax to come around. So, you know, when everybody get income tax, we excited. Like, oh, we about to have a little come up. We about to get this money. And I'm going to be all right. I figured once I got my income tax, I will be able to get back on track because I will be able to pay off some things. I was able to put money where it needed to be at the time. So I was okay. And once I filed my income tax and I seen how much money I was getting back, for me not to have kids at the time, I was okay with it. Mind you, I told you I had bills coming out. And I told you student loans was coming out. So, I filed my income tax. I was excited with what the money I was going to get back. And, you know, I'm still working my job. My friends still making their money. How they making their money? I'm up here waiting for my income tax because I'm like, yes, I need this. I need this to kind of catch up, to kind of get me out this fucking hole. Excuse my French, didn't mean to have that one slip out, but it did. And when I tell you, I waited. Now, I'm hearing all my family members talk about how they got theirs back already, and I'm still waiting. I'm like, well, what's taking so long? I go on the site, it says in process, it's processing. I'm like, all right, it's processing, so that's a good thing, right? Still waiting. So I goes back to, you know, the place where I went and got my taxes done at. I'm thinking maybe they done messed up. I'm thinking that they done screwed up to the point where I'm not getting no taxes back. All right. One thing was right. They did mess up. But IRS has taken my income tax. Do you know what that feels like when you're waiting for money and you think it's coming and it's not? Whew. Talk about a nervous breakdown. I literally could not wrap my head around what just happened. I'm up here trying to figure out what did I do to deserve this, because now I am stressed. I am ready to say, screw it. Come to find out, my student loan has taken my income tax because I did let it lapse for over a year. And once I filed for income tax, they looked at it like it was their money. And I didn't agree with it, but I guess you could say it was their money. They took my whole income tax check, and I was like furious. I was stressed out. I didn't know what to do. It got to the point where I was like, what is my next step? Then, you know, the devil on his shoulder popped up in my head. You can always go and try out dancing. And that's what I did. I didn't know what else to do. I know it probably looked like I was a sellout, but at the end of the day, I had to do what was best for me because no one was helping me. I had bills to pay. I had things that I had to do. And no, I didn't want to dance at first, but at the same time, I didn't want to be struggling no more than I had to. So I did go. I'll never forget, I went to go audition. I didn't even know what I needed when it came to auditioning. So before I actually went to go audition, I called one of my girlfriends up and I asked her, what are the things that I need? She told me I need some heels. She told me I'm gonna need like a lingerie piece. You know, just something to show off my figure, basically. Now, I never danced a day in my life, but I did know how to move. Like, I'm not stiff, but I never worked it on no pole before. So when I tell you your girl had to take a shot, I took about 3 vodkas, 3 Grey Goose shots. And mind you, I was only up there probably for like maybe 5 minutes, if that, because you probably, I don't know, like for your first like auditioning, you dance to one song, but if you were to, once you work, you dance into more than one song. You dance into 2 songs actually. So I audition, and surprisingly, they liked the way I moved. I thought I was stiff when it came to the pool because I was nervous, but the vodka started to kick in, and I played the song that I like and that I knew my body could move to. So next thing you know, the manager, once it was done, once I was finished with my audition, the manager, wanted to talk to me. He wanted to tell me how things, go in the club. He wanted to tell me how the schedules work, how long the shifts are, the house fees, and things like that. So when he's talking to me, I'm like, "Are you offering me this job?" That's what I asked. And he was like, "Yeah." He said, "I think you look really good on stage. I like how you move." And he's saying all this to me. And I'm up here, like, in my head, I'm thinking, like, girl, you could have been better, but it is what it is. So he asked me, "Well, do you have a name that you would like to be called?" And at this time, I didn't think of a name because I never thought I was going to actually even get the job. But years ago, I used to model. And when I did model, I used to go by Nevada Aubrey. It just stood out to me. That name stood out to the point where I wanted that name. So when he asked me, do I have a name? I went back to Nevada. And he was like, "I like that name." Not many people came across this name. Everybody else would think something totally different. I thought outside the box. And Nevada was a modeling name. And then it just so happened turned into my dancing name. So when I went to black clubs, I would use Nevada. When I went to white clubs, I would use Aubrey. So I had two names that I used during times that I needed them to be used, basically. All right, so I get the job. And my first night, I made like $4 something. My first night. And I'm shocked because I'm like, this is like my money. I don't have to. Oh, mind you, let me rewind. I did have to, pay my fees. But after I paid all my fees, I had like probably $420 leaving out in my pocket for a short period of time. And I don't know, because I was the new girl, so that kind of worked for me, and I'm glad it did because I needed that money. So after all of this took place, I had got my money, did my first shift. I was nervous as hell, but I got through it. And once I seen the money that I made, I was like, really? All I did was dance to 2 songs. And the second song, the first song you keep your clothes on. The second song you take your clothes, like your top off. So I was like, that was it? And I made this? I don't even make this at my full-time job. Oh, okay. So I'm excited. I want to go try again. So I go. Another time, I made around the same. This time I probably made like close to 4. It was probably like $375 in a short period of time. Now I'm getting a little more okay with it. I don't know if it's because of the money that I'm making. I don't know if it's because I'm basically being me. I'm just doing it in front of an audience now. All right. Now, I still have my full-time job. So the money that I'm making, it didn't matter if I made 4. It didn't matter if I made 3. It didn't matter if I made $100. I just needed a little bit more to add with what I was already making at my full-time job. So as I get more familiar with everything, as I get more comfortable in a setting, in that dancing environment, my full-time job wasn't looking like something that I wanted anymore. I started to notice that I wasn't doing overtime no more. I started to notice that I was just basically more moving over to dancing because the money was so easy and it was so quick that for 2 weeks, I'm only making probably 5, 6. That wasn't working for me. It wasn't working for me at all. That was no money. Like, it just wasn't. So, I started dancing more. I started making more money. Mind you, I don't know no pole tricks at the time. So every time I would go to the club, I wanted to look at the women that were like on the pole. I wanted to be them. It was okay to walk around a pole, be seductive, be sexy and all of that. But I always wanted to take it to the next level. I wanted to be good on that pole. Because when I go to strip clubs, I don't do men's strip clubs. I do not want to go to a club and look at a man. No. I am more about going to the club and looking at a woman, because a woman's body is so, like, it's so special. The way we move our body, the way we do everything with it, and the fact that you have a prop such as a pole and you are killing that pole, I can see why guys give up their money so easily. It's like we are giving them a show. Clothes on, clothes off. It doesn't matter. We are giving y'all something. I'm saying y'all as if like, yes, we're giving y'all something that y'all probably not getting at home. And I'm not taking it away from the wives. Don't come in my neck. But we are basically making them feel like how they want to be feeling at that moment. And they basically giving us money. They are basically helping us get by. So it's like a even transaction. I don't know if I should be using that word, but I didn't say anything wrong. It's just, we basically are there to give them a fantasy that they want. So as I'm making all this money, I am like, all right, I'm not putting up with my full-time job no more. Mind you, I haven't even told my parents, because I didn't think that it was going to be something that I was going to really be into. But as I seen this money rolling in, I couldn't say no. That is the reason why I was there. I was there to make money. I was there to help me. Like, I was there to help myself out of a jam. So, yeah. So when I went back to my job, it was no more Dominique do this, Dominique do that. Dominique was not even there no more. Nevada came out. Like, I put in my 2 weeks notice. I know a lot of y'all would say that was the dumbest thing you could do. To who they feel like, to each his own, okay? Because at that time, I didn't think it was the dumbest idea. The dumbest thing I did was stay somewhere where I was stressed out. Stay somewhere where people were telling me what to do, not looking at me as a person. They were looking at me as an employee. And I understand, being an employee, you're there to work. I get it. But sometimes when people are in a higher position than you, they forget that you are human. They don't care how they talk to you, how they treat you, and they just expect for you to be they, yes ma'am, yes sir. And before I got into the dancing world, that was me. Yes ma'am, yes sir. No. Something had to be done. And I got into dancing, and dancing helped me out in so many ways that I am very thankful. I never put myself in situations that I shouldn't have been in, such as doing drugs. I never done drugs. I barely even drank because I just felt like I didn't need to drink to get by. At first I did, but once I kind of got the hang of it, I didn't need to drink. People liked me because I had personality. I always kept it real with them. I never felt like I had to make up no story or a lie for them to like me. I just always was myself. And it worked for me. I can't say it worked for everybody, but it worked for me. And, after I got a taste of the dancing life, that made me want to go try out other clubs. And I tried out other clubs. You know, some clubs I liked, some clubs I didn't. I will make money more in the smaller clubs. Because when you go to bigger clubs, these big clubs, it's always about a competition. And don't get me wrong, it is competition no matter where you go, big or small. But when you go to a bigger club, you have more women that want to, they don't care how they get their money. It's like do or die. And I knew that wasn't me because I was a new dancer. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not scared of other females. No, that wasn't the case. But at the same time, I feel like it's a certain way you go about things when you're in the dancing industry. You don't have to basically pull someone down in order for you to rise to the top. Because if a guy like you, they're going to give you their money. None of us dancers can tell the man where he should put his money. If we all be arguing and fighting, it's guys where they be like, you know what? I just want to drink. I don't feel like spending no money. I don't want to dance. You have guys that will tell you that because guys don't come near to see women bicker. They don't come near to see guys. Guys don't come near to see women fight because no one wants that. Like, they're not home. These men come from home because they want to come there as if this is their happy place. This is the place where they come and get a peace of mind. And I was all for that. So while these other dancers are fighting over, you know, each other, he should be giving me the money, this and that, the underdog, me. I'm going to come here. I'm going to observe everything. I'm going to sit there and have a drink. I don't need no guy to buy me a drink. I can buy my own drink. I'm going to buy me a drink. I'm going to sit. I'm going to observe. You know. And while they over there, the two women over there bickering, I'm going to start a conversation. Me and him going to converse. Him and I are going to converse. And I'm going to be making him laugh. He's going to make me laugh. He's going to get to know who Nevada is. And that's how you do it. You just wait your turn. And while you waiting your turn, observe. You have to pay attention. You have to do what works for you. So even though I'm dancing and I'm making money, I never lost sight of things. I probably did put Dominique Danielle on a burner because I was always unsure. When I was Dominique Danielle, I didn't have confidence like I had when I was Nevada Aubrey. Nevada Aubrey she was the shit. You couldn't tell her nothing. But now that I am older, now that I am a mother now, I have taken dancing and I put it in my everyday life. I am learning to be a better version of myself than I ever probably was ever. I am a mom now, which is exciting because I think being a mother scares me more than anything in life. I am basically putting Nevada Aubrey and Dominique Danielle into one person, and they are making me. The person that's been running all this time didn't even know it. I am making a better version of myself. And I like who I'm becoming. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope it wasn't all over the place. But I just figured I would come on here and let you guys know that I used to dance. And I'm not saying that I stopped dancing, but for the moment, right now, I have stopped dancing. And I am more focused on my son. Yeah, I'm focused more on Atlas because he is who makes me a better person each day. So I hope you like this video. If you do, comment, like, share, subscribe. because it's going to be a lot more coming.